everyone, it's Melissa from 1000+ Books to Read here today to do a review of Airmail by Naomi Bulger. I'm not sure. um, this book was really interesting. It's about a girl who is writing letters to someone randomly chosen from a phone book about her life. Now, according to the girl, Anouk, I believe is how you pronounce her name, she believes she's being stalked by this woman in a pink tracksuit. She's seen her in front of her all the time. And it turns out she's actually right. She really is being stalked. Anyways, so she's writing all of these letters to this random stranger, and the stranger, his name is GL. I do not know what it stands for. Never is revealed. In fact, even their fake names weren't really revealed. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. So GL gets these letters, and he's this guy in Australia, I believe it is. I think so. Anyways, he's an old man. He's 73 years old. He reads her letters. Now, he's kind of set into his routine, much like most people as you get older kind of deal. He has a complete routine. He wakes up at a certain time, he showers at a certain time, he has, a certain time where he drinks certain things, his tea goes on at a certain time, he doesn't like using a saucer with his teacup, he loves whiskey, and so he receives her letters, and he always puts them away and then reads them like the following day, the next morning. I don't know why that is, I don't know what difference it makes. There's also talking about a portrait, a picture that's in his house that kind of has a mind, I guess. I don't know, that part was really weird. But the picture kind of followed him and, I don't know, had comments, I guess, on what he was doing, but it wasn't really a part of the story. So anyways, he gets this letter one day from Anouk, and it basically says that she's dead. She's on the other side now, and she's writing to him from the other side. The pink track lady finally got to her, and she's not alive anymore, and she's just gonna continue to write to him. Well, he gets this letter, and it really shakes him up. So he immediately packs up his stuff, and he's getting ready to fly across the world to New York City to find this woman who has been his pen pal, even though he hasn't really written back to her ever. And so he ends up going to New York, and while he's in New York, he starts to really kind of enjoy himself. It's the first time, I guess, in his 73 years that he's ever really had an adventure or done anything. And so he's there, and at first it seems as though he's forgot his purpose for being there. He totally forgets that he's supposed to be looking for this girl. And he starts to make friends with the different people in the boarding rooms that he's living in, and he starts to photograph people, and he's just kind of enjoying his time in New York. And then he realizes that when he's taking these photos of people, that he's taking pictures of a person that he recognizes from the description of this person being described in Anouk's letters. So he's looking for Joseph. He knows who Joseph is. Joseph is someone that Anouk was writing about that was her friend. And he notices when he's taking pictures of people that this guy that he's taking pictures of is the exact description of Joseph. So he goes and meets Joseph, and they spend time together talking about Anouk and what had happened. And I guess they kind of figured out how all of it relates. And to be quite honest, I ended up getting very confused. This book kind of went over my head. And it wasn't until after I had read it and spent about, I don't know, maybe 30-40 minutes kind of thinking about it that I finally kind of got that this book was more of a metaphor than it was an actual real story to kind of tie up. Because there's all sorts of different things that kind of happen. Marbles that you hold in your hand that kind of tells the life of a person, and these marbles are representing, I guess, kind of your life. And inside of the marbles are your memories and parts of who you are. So you know, when and it's actually funny because on my notes here, down here, obviously can't see them, but it says girl loses her marbles, haha. GL finds them, gives them back, and then she's okay. And that's pretty much what happened in this story. He finds her marbles. He has sent 3 of them from the pink tracksuit, who I kind of think now the pink tracksuit represents a god or a goddess or whoever you believe in, the higher power. And so the pink tracksuit had this girl's marbles, and the marbles were her life force, her life. And in this book, it sounded like to me, and I may be getting this wrong, I don't know, but it made me think that all of the people that were in like this club who were collecting these marbles were gods, and they were playing marbles with people's lives, basically. And it kind of alludes to that in the book, that this is the case. And so that's why once GL, you know, he finally ends up writing a letter back to Anouk and has Joseph deliver it. And in his letter, he explains to her, you know, kind of what's going on and how to take back her life, and that she's not really dead. And in the bottom of this envelope are 12 of her marbles. So when she holds those marbles, it gives her back basically her thoughts, her memories, her life, her energy, her everything. So yeah, I don't know how to rate this book, to be quite honest, because it was so different and interesting. I mean, here I go opening this book, reading this description, and thinking that I'm getting a book about pen pals and a murder mystery, and instead, by the time I finish this book, I think I'm I don't know, I'm relating this to gods and life and metaphors for life and things of that sort. So, you know, it's a really short read. It's like 100 and some odd pages, and you'll get through it pretty quickly because it is interesting. I just don't know. I don't know if it just isn't the type of book for me, or if having to spend so much time thinking about it to finally get it, I still don't even know if I'm getting it, you know? I don't know. It's interesting though. So if you like books that are kind of ones that really make you think in order for you to kind of understand, or it kind of makes me feel like those, you know, choose your own adventure books in a way. I mean, you're not choosing your own adventure, but at the end, I think it's really up to interpretation, how you interpret what this book is supposed to mean, which is actually really cool if you think about it. How many books can you say that about, you know? I know when I'm reading like a vampire book, I'm not thinking about the heavy meaning of life or anything like that. So I don't know. It's really interesting. I think I'll probably have to give it 4 stars for that. Yeah, so that's the review. I don't know. My review is probably as weird as anything. So, but yeah. So if you're looking for a book that is different than most others that are out there right now, and can really make you think outside of, you know, the normal shoot 'em up, bang bang, vampire gotcha romance stories, then this book's probably for you. So Airmail, again, by Naomi Bulger. I hope I'm saying it right. Anyways, I'll have the links down in the down bar as usual and on the blog. If you've read this, give me some feedback. I'd love to know what you got from it, because obviously there was a lot for me. So if you're new around here, please subscribe. If you know anybody who's interested in books or books that we're reading, or books in general, send them along our way. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.